Hi everyone, thank you for joining us today for this webinar on how to accelerate business velocity with NetSuite and Salesforce integration. My name is Ajay Gandhi. I'm the VP of Product Marketing for the Informatica Cloud business, and alongside is my co-presenter today, Amity Hungerford, the VP of Partner Marketing from NetSuite. And we're looking forward to a great webinar. And for those of you who have questions, we'd encourage you to send your questions in using the question button on the top left of your screen. And you can send them in via chat, and we'll get to those in the Q&A session later in the webinar. So just a quick overview of the agenda for today's webinar. We're going to start off with a little recap of SaaS adoption in the enterprise. And I'm sure this is not news for most of our attendees, but it's good to have everyone on the same starting point. Then we'll get into some of the business processes that many companies are looking to run in the cloud and why, and talk about what a solution would look like to enable a lot of these common, particularly Agile processes. Then Amity will give us a great overview of the NetSuite Cloud ERP solution, and we'll follow that with an overview of Informatica Cloud. And then very excited to have a customer today as an example, Australian Institute of Management, that actually uses Salesforce, NetSuite, and Informatica Cloud to create a very agile solution for their organization. And finally, we'll have hopefully a lot of time for Q&A. We'll be able to address your questions. Let's get going. So this is an interesting stat that we picked up recently from a KPMG survey around why companies are looking to adopt cloud. I think no surprise to anyone, cost reduction is the primary driver at almost 50% of the reason why people are moving to cloud. What's more interesting to us was obviously speed is another big driver. Almost a third of the respondents moved to the cloud for speed, and that's speed around provisioning new apps, but also speed around making changes. As you can see, entering new markets and transforming existing business processes, particularly customer-facing ones, are other big drivers here. And that's really the thesis of this webinar is how do you enable those transformative processes using cloud applications? So as we all know, our business is run on processes, right? Everything from customer-facing processes like campaign management, Salesforce automation, customer service, to more back-end or back-office processes like accounts receivable or supply chain management or inventory management and shipping. And obviously, we want to make these processes as optimal as possible. Now, what's been happening, as you saw from the SaaS adoption stat, is many of the processes are moving to the cloud. Not all of them, but certainly, I think more and more of our customers and more companies that we work with are starting to move a lot of their business to the cloud. And what we've seen is that front office processes are kind of driving that adoption. Things like campaign management or automating your Salesforce or CRM or customer service and other front office customer-facing processes are really leading this cloud adoption. And there's a simple reason for that, right? I think for most companies, customer-facing requirements in those processes are the ones that change the most frequently, right? Companies tend to change their account definitions. What is a customer? How are territories assigned to sales reps? What are my customer service levels? These are primarily where most companies differentiate and innovate with customer engagement and where business requirements change much more frequently. So for a lot of companies, the front office is where they differentiate and innovate to drive their business value initially, and that's been moving them to the cloud. So they can get to the cloud quickly, they can cut their costs, and they can focus their budgets on innovation and differentiation. Lead to cash is a great example of a very specific business process that is obviously very customer-facing, and typically when you move that process to the cloud, you've got to have a cloud CRM solution, you've got to have a cloud ERP solution for handling billing and orders and shipping. You usually have to integrate it with some on-premise applications because you may have a lot of your transaction history. You may have things like order management or shipping or inventory management on-premise, example in SAP or an Oracle e-business suite. And you've really got to bring all these together with a cloud integration solution that allows you to seamlessly connect the data, connect the processes both in batch and real-time scenarios. And what we're finding is the cloud solution for things like lead to cash or other front office agile processes has to be equally agile, right? The solution itself that enables the process, everything from the CRM to the ERP to the cloud integration, those pieces all have to be fully agile. You're only as agile as your slowest piece of your solution. So if every piece is fully cloud-based and pre-integrated then you're going to have the most agile solution. And a lot of customers and a lot of companies that we work with are creating a solution for these front office processes made up of Salesforce, NetSuite, and Informatica Cloud. And we're obviously very excited about that because we, I think, have built a solution set that is fully in the cloud and pre-integrated specifically to help these customers move quickly those processes that they need to differentiate into the cloud. And it's not just for lead to cash or not just for front office processes. It is really for every process, right? We see over time, and I'm sure Amity can speak more to this when he talks about NetSuite's experience with Cloud ERP, we're seeing over time massive transformations of companies moving whole-scale business processes to the cloud. Front office led the way, but now, back office and core finance and HR, inventory, shipping, warehouse management, all those processes are moving to the cloud too to get the cost savings and to get the agility benefits. Now it's my pleasure to turn it over to Amity Hungerford from NetSuite, who's going to walk us through their Cloud ERP solution. Amity, please take it away.
Thank you, Ajay. So hello, everyone. Many of you may have heard of NetSuite, but if you haven't, then I wanted to provide a quick summary of what the company is all about. And we've been a company that has been operating solely in the cloud space, developed a business around providing cloud-based business management solutions, and have been in the market operating for over 15 years with a wide range of solutions within our business management suite. What I'm going to primarily speak about today is our ERP solution, and NetSuite is the world's most deployed cloud ERP solution. It's the case when we first formed the company, we realized that there was a significant move to looking for more agile solutions, more flexible deployment. The speed was important. People were looking for cost savings and all of these benefits that come through that the KPMG study mentions. And we started off with financials and built out inventory management and added in other solutions like website, e-commerce capabilities, professional services automation, and built a full ERP solution that spans a wide range of areas. Today, that application is being used by over 20,000 organizations worldwide. It's the fastest growing top 10 ERP solution in the market. And a lot of top companies, as you can see here, are utilizing the solution. If you were to look at the business management suite that we provide, really what we've done is developed a suite of applications that all surround a central data source. So you have your full ERP capabilities, your e-commerce, CRM, professional services automation. Now, what we find is that customers are oftentimes using existing applications, and one of the top applications that they're using in the cloud CRM space is Salesforce. So it's probably the most commonly integrated solution to NetSuite, but there are cases where customers will also use NetSuite CRM. And so it's part of the suite, but more often we find that companies out there are moving to the cloud, and as Ajay indicates, they tend to move with something that is in the front office area like CRM or marketing automation, and then they start looking at other application processes and see ERP as a good next step, or financial accounting as a good next step, because they realize that it can provide a lot of the same benefits that come through their front office deployment in terms of rapid deployment, scalability, flexibility, and the like. Now, with NetSuite, what you get is you have a role-based application that allows different individuals across the business to access this application and get access to information that spans multiple applications. It also allows, because it's web-based, allows companies to expose their application in a restricted fashion as they would like to third parties, external groups such as customers, vendors, and partners. So when you then look at what companies are commonly doing today, you see that they're also expanding globally, and they have a need to manage their business globally. So about 6 years ago, NetSuite built out functionality within our ERP solution to allow for multi-subsidiary, multi-tax, multi-currency support that we call the One World application that allows companies to manage their business globally. So now you can roll up financials from one subsidiary to your headquarters easily, and you can get real-time access to information around the world. So when you saw in my earlier note how NetSuite is being deployed across many different regions around the world, this is the capability, the NetSuite One World ERP capability that allows for that. And what you see is the same benefits of getting real-time access through a central data source, all within one business management suite. Now, what's really important for many companies, and you saw this in the KPMG study, that business process transformation was one of the key benefits that they were looking for when they moved to the cloud. And what you get as you integrate applications using Informatica to tie NetSuite to Salesforce or to other applications, you get the business process workflow that you're looking for that allows companies to do their work more efficiently. And so when we look at how companies are growing and managing their business, they're trying to move away from paper-based manual processes, and they're trying to improve their business process. And the central data store approach that NetSuite takes is really instrumental in helping enable them to do that. So you within that comprehensive cloud ERP solution that we have, you get your of course core accounting, purchasing, inventory, manufacturing capabilities, billing, T&E and revenue recognition capabilities. But you also, because you're able to integrate outside to other applications or within the NetSuite suite, you get the process workflows of how you manage the procure to pay process or quote to order process. And then you get this, of course, with the One World capabilities that provide multi-currency, multi-subsidiary, and tax capabilities. And this is some of those business processes that we talked about and the benefits that when we surveyed our customers and looked at what their benefits are in business process improvement, you're seeing increased order fulfillment efficiency, reduced time devoted to accounting because we're automating the process, of course, lower IT costs and on-premise solutions, and increase in employee productivity and customer service rep productivity. So it's this span of business benefits that really are enhancing the value proposition of a cloud-based solution to many companies today. And they're looking at the world where, as they come up for their next decision in making an application selection, they're looking at what cloud options are there available and what companies like NetSuite, Informatica, Salesforce, and others should we be evaluating when we are making this next move. We also, within NetSuite, we have built out a Suite Cloud platform of development tools that allow customers and developers to very easily customize the platform. Because as you know, in the ERP space, there's a significant need to mirror or work with existing business processes, and companies are looking for ways that they can easily customize the graphical user interface, manage workflows, interface with other applications through common web services, use scripting to create custom applications, or just manage the overall life cycle of their application. And this platform provides that capability. And we call it out because 75% of our customers that use NetSuite customize that suite. And that's not uncommon, because if you were to look at on-premise ERP applications or financial applications, that is the norm. 75% of the on-premise world, they're also customizing their applications. And so you need to have a way to have a platform that allows the vertical extension of these solutions. And what this does is it presents opportunities also for you to be looking at how you tie in your ERP solution to other applications through integration capabilities like Informatica can provide. So here are just an example, a range of different partner companies that within the wholesale distribution sector, for example, work with NetSuite to round out our solution. That might provide warehouse management, configuration tools, shipping, payments. All of these elements come into play and are specialized for a complete wholesale distribution solution. So, the customers that are deploying cloud applications today are using NetSuite in that manner. They're getting the business benefits of the business process efficiency. They're also using partner companies and also integrating with existing applications. And they're doing this integration with companies like Informatica, who's our leading application integration partner. Within the Suite Cloud developer community, we have a wide range of partners. We have over 7,000 developers that are developing for the platform, of which Informatica is one of our top select partners. And we have over 23,000 Suite apps, we call them, installed. These are custom applications that have been developed on the NetSuite platform that allow companies to easily customize their solution or meet the individual or unique needs they have in their different industries. So we know it's a hybrid environment out there. We know there's going to be, over time, a migration to cloud-based solutions in areas that customers are seeing a strong fit. And as that happens, there's opportunity to integrate with those existing cloud applications or integrate with on-premise applications, and NetSuite's partner program really helps companies do exactly that. So with that, I'm going to just highlight just a few of the customers that we have across different industries so you can see what we're doing in different industry areas. And NetSuite is the #1 cloud ERP across multiple areas in software, wholesale distribution, manufacturing, services, and in also the enterprise. As more companies are evaluating using NetSuite in divisions and subsidiaries of large and growing enterprise companies, they're looking at cloud-based solutions as a way to give them more efficiencies and flexibility and agility, as Ajay mentioned. And we're seeing a real strong adoption across all different industry areas. With that, I'm going to turn it back over to Ajay.
Thanks, Amity. Great overview. And I just wanted to send out another reminder to everyone listening to send us any questions that you have using the question button on your screen, which will put it into our chat window. And as you can see, as we talked about earlier, so SaaS adoption is really taking off. And Amity did a great job of talking about some of the big drivers that a lot of customers are choosing to go with NetSuite Cloud ERP as an example of that. As you can see in this statistic here, the biggest challenge that most customers face in adopting cloud applications and moving their infrastructure to the cloud is, there's a lot of challenges, but the biggest one is actually integration. More than a third of customers find it challenging to integrate their cloud apps with existing architecture, existing on-premise applications, and also just the implementation and transition of both technical and people processes to the cloud ends up being a significant cost and time challenge for most customers. And the great news is, that's exactly the problem that the Informatica Cloud platform was built to address. How do you integrate, how do you bring all the benefits of SaaS into your existing environment, which is typically made up of a hybrid environment, right? It's made up of on-premise applications and on-premise databases and on-premise systems, as well as, of course, the new cloud applications that you're investing in, such as NetSuite Cloud ERP, Salesforce, maybe Workday, and some other ones. And the other thing is, it's not just about integrating. It's not just about taking information from one application to another, on-premise or in the cloud, but it's also about making sure that you can provide the full breadth of data management capabilities to your business users. And by that, what I mean is things like if you're using Salesforce and you have sandboxes, you want to be able to make sure that the test data that you do in your sandbox is accurate and reflects what you want to do in your production scenario. So having the ability to cloud test data management is very important. Also, obviously, information going into NetSuite or going into Salesforce or integrating between the two with SAP on-premise, you want to make sure that data is correct. It's not duplicated. So you want cloud data quality built right into your solution for connecting these different applications. And then a lot of customers, as they mature in their cloud adoption, if they have, NetSuite and maybe Salesforce or multiple instances of Salesforce or other cloud applications, you want to be able to have a single view of your customer. You want to be able to have a single view of your organization. And for that, you need to create master data. You need to have a single view. The cloud master data management for things like Salesforce is becoming a really big deal for a lot of customers. And then finally, it's not just about connecting data, but you want to be able to integrate processes and automate processes in a very agile way. So having the ability to do cloud process automation with real-time integration across service and process sources is critical to being able to get the full value out of your cloud adoption investments. And Informatica is the only vendor today that offers the full breadth of these cloud integration data management services, from cloud integration all the way to real-time process automation. And that's what we're finding is more and more customers need this ability to work in a hybrid environment. And we've been very lucky from an industry analyst perspective. We are also rated the #1 solution across all companies for cloud and hybrid integration. And you can see in this latest Forrester Wave, which just came out literally a month ago, we are clearly by far the leader in providing these capabilities to our customers. And more customers are looking for us to help them move from on-premise to cloud and then move towards the cloud-first strategy going forward. And it's not just about connecting to Salesforce or even just NetSuite, right? Most customers have tons of applications and other sources that they need to connect to, they need to do data quality for, real-time process integration for. And we offer a full set of connectors for this use case. Of course, we have pre-built connectivity for NetSuite and Salesforce, SAP, Oracle, all the sort of major application systems that most companies have. But we also support a lot of the emerging ones. We have full support for Amazon Web Services for things like Redshift for cloud data warehousing and RDS for cloud databases. We also support other leading SaaS vendors such as Marketo or Workday or Eloqua or Concur. And all of the on-premise systems that most companies have today are fully supported with pre-built connectors from the Informatica Cloud platform. And we've been very fortunate that not only have we gotten a ton of great customers, we have over 2,000 enterprise customers today, but we are by far the leading cloud integration data management solution in the marketplace. We process over 60 billion transactions a month, and it's growing pretty significantly from month to month. We also have the broadest range of connectivity, as I mentioned. And from a Salesforce perspective, we're the only vendor that has been rated #1 in integration in IT and administration apps for the past 5 years. And we're by far the leading vendor on AppExchange with our breadth of offering as well. And we also have a great set of Tier 1 consulting partners that we work with across the world in helping customers move to the cloud. Now I'm excited to talk about our customer example. Earlier in the webinar, we talked about the move to cloud. We talked about the importance of a full cloud-based solution that involves sort of CRM, cloud integration, and of course, cloud ERP to enable fast-moving processes to the cloud. One of our joint customers between NetSuite and Informatica, the Australian Institute of Management, migrated their legacy on-premise ERP applications to NetSuite and their legacy on-premise CRM to Salesforce, and connected all of these together using Informatica Cloud. And they did this with a small IT team. They didn't want to write any custom code every time a change needed to be made, so they wanted to make sure the connectivity was pre-built and extremely agile and easy enough for not just their integration developers, but also their line of business admins and app administrators to be able to do it. And so the end result was now the Australian Institute of Management or sales reps have a complete view of all their membership information in Salesforce. This information is kept in perfect sync between Salesforce and NetSuite, and information from Salesforce is replicated into an in-house database that's on-premise using Informatica Cloud for advanced reporting. So they're able to seamlessly create a closed-loop process for customer information lifecycle management from Salesforce Sales Cloud through Informatica Cloud to NetSuite. And you can see that things like opportunities, order information, and invoice information flow seamlessly back and forth in this solution in the cloud. And then we also enable them with connectivity to the on-premise data warehouse to be able to do analytics on this information as part of their overall organizational view. And going forward, AIM is planning to use this integration solution as a blueprint and roll out Salesforce, NetSuite, and Informatica Cloud to all of their other organizations throughout Australia and in other global areas potentially. So that was a quick overview of the webinar. Hopefully it was useful and informative to everyone. And we'd love now to open it up to Q&A. So Ajay and Amity are waiting for questions, and we're going to go ahead and start looking at some of the questions that you guys have submitted. This would be a great time to submit more questions. And I'll start by picking the first one. So here's the first question. Does the Informatica Cloud integration suite include Oracle CRM on demand? Great question, and the answer is yes. Yes, we do. We have pre-built connectivity for Oracle CRM, so you can just plug it in and automatically connect to all the data, application, information in Oracle CRM. Here's another question. Does Informatica Cloud have sandboxes, and what's the licensing terms for sandboxes? Yes, we do have sandboxes. Being a full cloud solution, we offer the ability to do test and dev in the sandboxes before moving to production. For more information on pricing, we encourage you to go to informaticacloud.com/editions, and you'll be able to see all the pricing information and also contact an Informatica Cloud sales rep for more information. So great questions. Keep them coming. Here's another question. What version of Informatica has Cloud Integration Suite? So the Informatica Cloud Platform is actually its own product line, and it doesn't have versions, which is one of the characteristics that cloud solutions tend to have. Everyone's always on the same version. So we just released our Spring Release 2014 version about a few weeks ago. So everyone is instantly always on the same version. Another question is, are the connectors licensed separately? And the answer is yes, you do get some connectors as part of, based on the edition that you purchase, but you can obviously expand that with separate purchases. Here's another question. How involved is it to integrate a cloud application like Salesforce or NetSuite with a client service app like Oracle or SAP? It's a great question. And the great news is, because we have pre-built connectors for Salesforce, NetSuite, Oracle, and SAP in the Informatica Cloud solution, it's actually not very involved at all. It's very much plug and play. You can just plug in the connector and get instant access through intelligent sort of metadata level connectivity to all of the data fields and the application information in SAP, Oracle, and of course Salesforce and NetSuite. And really that model solution that we showed you in the webinar is an example of how to use that pre-built connectivity to quickly go into the cloud and integrate with on-premise. Okay, another question. We'll take a few more here. Can you integrate on-premise data with cloud data? Absolutely. The ability to sort of aggregate data really depends on your use case. Whether you're putting it into an on-premise data warehouse, we can bring cloud data into that and combine the two. We can also, of course, bring on-premise data into a cloud database, whether it's like the Salesforce database or the NetSuite database, or maybe even Amazon Redshift, which is a cloud database, cloud data warehouse. We can support all those different scenarios and use cases depending on what your business goals are. There's a question about supporting Informatica version 9.1. Yes, so everything in the Informatica Cloud Platform is seamlessly compatible with the on-premise version of Informatica in terms of rules, metadata, integration designs, and so on. You can move them back and forth. Everything is built on a common engine that we call Vibe, and you're able to seamlessly do it. If you have more information, I'd recommend you coming to the informaticacloud.com website, and you can find more information on that particular topic. So another question, does Informatica Cloud have a REST API? And the answer is yes, we do. We support all sorts of different API connectivity options with connectors, obviously web services for things like Salesforce and NetSuite integration, and also REST API for other applications that surface a REST-based interface. There's a few other questions here. I know we're almost at the 10:30 mark, so I'll take maybe one more. What's the advantage of Informatica Cloud or over PowerCenter? The two are really complementary. It really depends on the use cases that you're trying to achieve. Informatica Cloud is really designed for customers that want to have a full 100% cloud solution, who want to obviously do things in a much more agile way. The interfaces in Informatica Cloud are built to be drag and drop, very visual, using pre-built wizards. And we're increasingly adding more and more advanced functionality in Informatica Cloud. So it really depends on your deployment options. Obviously, there's sort of many years of full feature functionality in the on-premise PowerCenter solutions that people could take advantage of. But increasingly, it just depends on your strategy. How much of your integration solution do you want to be in the cloud? I think you can do a lot of things now in the cloud and or on-premise, depending on your choice. Okay. It's a good question. There's a lot of questions about learning more about things like Vibe, and I'd encourage you to go on informaticacloud.com, and you can find out more about Vibe as well. And also feel free to contact, if you have an Informatica sales rep, you can contact them for more information. So great set of questions, everybody. If we have any more that we didn't get to, we'll follow up with an email. But thank you so much for participating and for all the questions. And hopefully you found the webinar useful. And for myself, Ajay Gandhi from Informatica and Amity Hungerford from NetSuite, I'd like to thank you for joining, and have a great day.